How do you think over the 15 or so years that you've been at the heart of Mindshare, how have you seen what clients want, those needs? How have you seen that change?
Well, I was thinking about it the other week. It's quite interesting. The biggest shift is about sort of trust and long-term view. Clients used to come to you with their problem and say, right, this is the problem with my business, this is what I need to do, this is how I need to grow, this is the markets I need to influence in order to move forward. And they came to you and worked with you to define what that bigger problem was, and then we'd work out how to solve it.
Yeah.
And there was always restrictions in terms of how much budget they had and how much money to do this. But within bounds, we would try and come up with the best solution.
Like a trusted partner.
A trusted partner, right? Yeah. And that's a great environment to feel that you work in as well. So that's good for our people, that's good for their people. But what's happened in tougher economic times, and you can understand why, right? Clients are under pressure, businesses are under pressure on their share price. People are making more short-term decisions, right? They're not making such smart long-term decisions. They've become more like bankers. They just care about what's the P&L this year.
Or even this quarter.
Or even this quarter, right? Just take money off the bottom line for me. I'm not really thinking about what's best to grow my business in the long term. I'm not thinking about what's best for my brand. I just want to save money. Give me the money and I can go back to my boss and get a pat on the back for saving money. And it doesn't encourage the best work and the best approach. I mean, do you think that?
Yeah, it's almost like the old Princess Diana quote, you know, there are three of us in this marriage. It's you, the client, and procurement. And I think it's entirely understandable how the pressures on budgets and the pressures to perform and the fact that media is generally, in most organisations, a pretty big line item, leads to a very procurement-driven approach where clients will talk a big strategic game, but then every 3 years, like Unilever does, go through a global review process that takes a year. So you can understand how that happens. And I think we have to accept that that's not going to go away.
For sure. It's definitely there and it's going to continue.
That's here to stay. And I think so you've got that pressure on the one side. I think on the other side, you have the pressure of the whole kind of big data revolution where clients are being told by everybody in the media and in their kind of trade press and their professional press that the role of the chief marketing officer is evolving in a completely new and different way, and it's no longer about ideas and creativity and innovation. It's all about data and analytics and insight driven from fact-based knowledge. And somehow the old way was wrong and the new way is right, and of course the reality is that's all sort of hyperbole, and it's got to be both. You know, people say, is it math men or mad men, as if those are two different alternative solutions. The fact is, if it's all mad men, it doesn't work because
absolutely,
because that's just shooting bullets in a darkened room, and if it's all math men, you turn all on the lights, then everybody can see the bullets coming. So you've got to have both, and I think the challenge for us as a business in that world of contradictory pressures, where it's about investment in data, it's about cutting costs for procurement, is navigating that way through. Fundamentally comes down to growing new skills around stakeholder management for big clients. Because unless you can understand the agendas of all those different people and then find a way of making them coexist, we ain't going to deliver what they want us to deliver.
And some of it is about us making sure we can educate all those people about the decisions they're taking. They can't always fix it because they may be so short-term constrained that they can't do anything about it. But it is about us showing them where great work happens when it is that longer vision and it is a partnership, and we are doing that. You know, and there have been clients that we've worked with in the past where you can look at it and go, we did some really, really great stuff with that client because they got that. They understood that was the issue.
I guess Nike is, you know,
Nike would be an example. You know, absolutely. And Gillette would have been another example where we worked with them and we did really groundbreaking stuff and moved their business forward.
Yeah.
And they recognised it as well as us.
Because I do think that having looked at the industry from the outside for many years, is I think one of the things the media business has done partly to itself is it's commoditized by accepting lower and lower fees for the service, the commission-based structure, where you end up making clients believe that what you do is plug and play. You know, take us out, plug somebody else in, and there's no difference because it's a commodity service, which I think was a crazy way of looking at the business. And I think, thankfully, now the world has got more complex, and the need to combine digital and innovation and ideas and data and analytics and buying and trading and just, you know, real-time bidding, and that makes a world where how anybody could describe that as commodity, I don't know. But the industry almost runs itself into
that only works, doesn't it, if you get a client that really understands all the different moving parts of our business. And that's the difference. You know, do they come just to buy a car because it looks pretty, or do they come to buy a car and want to understand all the parts of how it works?
Or in your case, how fast it goes. That's the single most important question.
There is that.